Yo, we back. It's been a while. Still in that starting line. Still this fight for better season ended. So, yeah.
And now it's time for the Sprite Ice Cold Keys to the game. All right, so Clark taking a look at.
Look, hold on. My bad, y'all. Mm.
The Bucks. What's going to be the key for them?
Well, you know Josh Howard was featured in the scouting report. He's a potent scorer with a bevy of moves at his disposal. With his offensive arsenal, you've got to think about double teaming.
And Clark, what about Detroit? What do they need to keep in mind?
Ben Wallace has to pull it together. He's really been struggling over these last 3 ball games. He hasn't been rebounding as well, and that's always a concern. They need his presence on the glass to be at their best.
Here's Ford. Cannot hit. So Detroit will take it the other way. Last game matched up with the Magic. A tough loss there.
We saw a lot of fouls, a lot of points from the foul line. It just hampered any ability for their offense to stay motivated or in any kind of rhythm.
Al Gordon, guarded by Red, throws it up. It seems like Ben Gordon's entire career has been this incredible debate about should he start or should he come off the bench. I don't even think he knows what he should.
No, I don't think he knows, but he does know this. Give me 25 to 30 minutes, and I'll give you 20 to 30 points. Enough said.
I thought you were going to say 25 to 30 shots, because that guy can shoot all night long.
No, he can't shoot all night long,
Yeah.
but he can put points up in bunches. He's got tremendous explosiveness as a scorer.
And it's the Pistons with the ball after the basket by Milwaukee. Here's Gordon. Great finish in traffic. And here are the Bucks now. About 3.5 minutes left in the first. Red's shot is right there.
That was a quick shot, but when they leave you open like that, you can't pass that up.
Now the Pistons with it. They lost the last time they faced the Bucks. That one in Milwaukee.
They can't be pleased or happy with their performance at the line. They did nothing to help themselves there, and it really hurt them.
Al Gordon. Not a good performance from him in that loss to Orlando. 6 seconds to shoot.
Too easy. Far too easy.
And here are the Bucks now. Trailing by 2. Tough loss coming against the Rockets in the last game they played.
Well, I think they squandered a lot of opportunities by trying to play catch-up from downtown. I mean, if you're hitting 35, 40% from beyond the arc, okay, that's fine. That's one thing. But to keep banging your head against the wall when you're not getting through, that's not smart.
And here is 4. The Bucks missing that time. Fires from 14, and it's Gordon missing. 2:24 left in the first quarter. To the elbow, to Mbamute. It's stolen by Howard. The Pistons leading. It's one-on-one. 4. Lays it right in.
Way to distribute the basketball.
So it's Milwaukee now. 4-point
Let me
game.
lock in.
Here's Shorty. Gets in close. Lays it right in.
Those are the shot opportunities you want, right in the lane.
And here comes Gordon. Right now averaging 17 points a game. Gordon. Guarded by Red. And here is Ford. Money on the 10-footer.
That's exactly what coaches love to see on offense. High percentage shots.
Now Mbamute working on Howard. Leads back.
He got that stop almost single-handedly, Kev. Defended the shot and cleaned the glass. That's a great play.
Wallace misses. The Bucks trail. Here's Red. Drains it from short range.
No one really contested him at the basket that time, Kevin. He's just too good in there to leave the door open for him.
And the Pistons decide to take their first timeout right here. And now let's take a look at the most efficient scoring teams in the NBA. You take a look at the Bucks. Second in the NBA, such great shooters.
With all of the great shooters they have, it's almost easy to think that they would shoot a high percentage. But there's some other factors at play here. They're unselfish, they set good screens, they move well without the ball, and they're disciplined in that they don't take just any shot. They want the best shot available, and that's usually what they get.
5 on the shot clock. 4. And it's no good. Poor shot selection there, to say the least. Here's Bogut, guarded by Ford. Kick out. Michael Red is on the wing.
Drew the D in and then kicked it out to the open man.
Now Gordon. Stolen by Shorty.
The lob was a little misjudged and he couldn't get control of it. A tough sequence there.
And here comes Gordon. The shot misses. The Bucks with the slight lead.
Well, Kevin, what can you say? They played terrific offensively. If I had to point out an area for improvement, it would be on the offensive glass. They need...
Ladies and gentlemen, do you know Saki?
And here are the Bucks now. And here's what's in store for next Wednesday. And here is Stuckey. Last game he had 13. Here's Ford. Dumps it off. Here's Howard. Sinks the open shot. Sweet touch by the 7-year veteran out of Wake Forest. Shorty from close range. Graceful finish. 8 points for him.
Kevin, that first step of his is as quick as a hiccup. He gets to the rim almost at will.
Here's Howard. Connects on the baseline jumper.
Boy, he's really doing a nice job taking advantage of what the defense is giving.
And here are the Bucks now. 2:18 left in the second. Here is Mbamute. Drops it in on the layup. And here is Stuckey. 7 points in the game. To Wallace. From inside. Lays it in. Sweet dime to lead into the rack. Milwaukee in the lead. Shorty. In close, Shorty, rebound by Wallace.
Why did I
One of the
lay
ways
it
where
up
they
that
show
way?
a definite edge, Kevin, has come on the glass today.
Here's Wallace. Ford shuts it down. Here's Milwaukee now. Talk about that rebounding edge, Clark. That's definitely had an impact for them in this game.
Well, I think you open up your opportunities, Kevin, when you can stay strong in the paint area and control the boards. I mean, that's a critical element in winning basketball games, rebounding the ball.
And here is Ford, following the miss by Jennings. The steal by Shorty.
He got caught napping, you've got to pay attention and protect the bill. Great D leads to easy offense.
The Pistons trailing. Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. Let's now take a moment to view the league's leading rebounders. Take a look at Wallace. A terrific rebounder, 5th overall.
When you talk about rebounders, this guy is relentless, and that's why he's one of the very best we have in the league. He goes after all rebounds. He never gives up on a missed shot. Whether it's near him or not, this guy is using his body, his quickness, his strength, and everything he has to beat people to rebound.
And here is Howard. 9-point game his last outing.
I like the job they're doing. A much better job of getting him involved in the offense here in the second quarter.
It's a neck-and-neck game in Detroit. And looking forward to next Sunday, it's going to be Brandon Roy and the Portland Trail Blazers. They'll be taking on the Utah Jazz. Start time, 7:30 Eastern.
You always want to get out of there with a win in that one.
So true. We've seen Michael Redd really have a good game today.
He's really in the zone and is racking up the points in bunches.
He certainly has. He's getting all the looks he wants and is finishing his chances.
They need to do something to get him out of his rhythm before it's too late.
Now Gordon. Now Duhan. Here's Wilcox. Kisses it off the glass and in. They lead 27-26.
They'd be smart to hold it now for the last shot.
Shorty laid in with the D draped all over him. He's got 12. And here comes Gordon. Stolen away by Shorty.
But they didn't let me shoot.
Just about even in terms of giveaways here, so no advantage either way. Man, there's been a lot of offense so far. Both sides are having no problems finding the net.
Let's go to the T-Mobile. Welcome, everyone. The second half of this 2K Sports NBA presentation getting underway. We've got quite a battle going on in this one. And here are the Bucks now. They lead by 1. As you mentioned, turnovers not much of a factor here so far.
No, not really, Kevin. I can't say it any better than that.
And here is Red. He's got 6. Now Mbah Moute. 6 seconds to shoot. Dumps it off. The 3. Red's shot is right there.
He can't be stopped. He's having a party out there.
Here comes TJ Ford, averaging 14 points a game. In the corner, gets a good look, kept alive. Wilcox inside, working on Warwick. From deep. And it's Gordon missing.
Tough break there, Kev. He found an opening on the floor and got a nice clear look. Just didn't convert.
And here is Red, defended by Gordon. Red, guarded by Ford. Shoots from the post. Let's quickly go down to Cheryl Miller for an update.
Kevin, during the break, I spoke with the head coach of the Pistons. He won't be happy unless they fix one major issue, heart. They're not playing with heart. He said they look like they're sleepwalking out there, and they need to decide if they want to win. They know what to do. They just have to go out and do it. That's the latest from courtside. Kevin Clark.
Thank you, Cheryl. Pistons on D, trailing by 2. Here's Shorty. Connects from in close. He's got 14.
That's too easy. The D's got to get to him about 8 feet further out.
Here comes TJ Ford. To Wallace. Throws it down.
No surprise there, Kevin. One of the keys to the game, his ability to light up a scoreboard, as we're seeing with our very own eyes.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. And we have a moment to take a look at the best three-point shooting teams in the NBA. Take a look at the Pistons. They're 4th in the league. So good.
Boy, the three-point shot is a major weapon for this team, and they know how to maximize it. They'll play inside out. They'll space the floor. They'll make the extra pass. And because you're so spread out, it's hard to get to the shooters. And they make you pay.
And here are the Bucks now. A 2-point game. 2:45 left in the third. Dumps it off. Here's Gordon. The Bucks clinging to a small lead.
They could use a basket here, Kevin. It's getting close.
Flushes it with the one-handed jam. He's got 16.
He's not the guy you would expect to compete in the dunk contest, but he can still throw it down when he needs to.
Stuckey, 4, leads the game in assists. So it's Milwaukee. The lead is 2. They'll be at home for the next game against the Bobcats. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Here's Shorty. It's blocked. Good D by Day. Here comes TJ Ford. Here's Day for the tie. Finishes with the soft touch.
Nice speed. That's the way to keep the ball moving.
So it's Milwaukee. Right block. And Ba-a-Mute backs in. The shot is off. So Detroit will take it the other way. The break is on. Stuckey for the lead. Gets the lay-in. 11 points in the game.
Beautiful delivery with the bounce pass. He kept it away from the defense, which set up the shot perfectly.
Oh, he turns it over. We'll go the other way. Quickly, let's check out the Eastern Conference standings. The season in full bloom. You look at the Bucks. This season has been a struggle for them. They're down at the bottom of the conference. And of course, there's the Pistons, a half game back.
This is the start of a brief homestand for them, but they may have a chance here, Kevin, to get some wins in front of their home fans before they head back out on the road.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. There'll be more coming your way next
Yeah, we
Wednesday.
got it winning.
The Orlando Magic hit the road as they face the Rockets in Houston. That one gets underway at 7:30 Eastern.
It'll be fun to watch.
Now Duhan, guarded by Red. To the high post. To Wilcox. Bogut on him. Here's Duhan. It's in for 3. They now have 9 unanswered.
This is called you must extend your defense, especially on the three-point marksman.
Intercepted. The Pistons leading. The break is on. Stuckey. Here's Gordon. On the mark with the triple. He has 7. The Bucks trail.
This is an obvious 2-for-1 situation. Let's see their clock management skill.
To Elson. Tipped.
To get back into this game, Kevin, they need to
not trying
really
to throw no.
concentrate on limiting the turnovers. I mean, it hasn't been terrible for them, but it's still hurting their cause.
And here are the Bucks now, trailing by 10. Shorty, defended by Duhan. To end the run. Rebounded by Howard. You're right, Clark. When you're down, you can't just give away opportunities like that.
Well, the margin of error is much smaller when you're trailing and trying to come back, so everything is much more important. But
The game just
turnovers
went up just like
always
that.
are self-destructive.
We're at the end of the third, and it's a double-digit game. The score, 47.
All right.
Welcome to the fourth quarter. Wide margin on the scoreboard tells it all. This one is probably over, but you never know. Anything can happen. And here is 4. A 12-point game. Ball is inside. Thomas is there. 4, baseline. Kept alive. On the paint. Got a hand on it. Got the stop thanks to the block by Warwick. Thomas connects on his first attempt. Nice shot by the 15th-year veteran out of TCU. And here is 4. To Wallace. 5 on the shot clock. Here's Gordon. Hits the tray.
He's starting to feel it. He's in a groove here in the second half. Way too many turnovers from him in this one, Kevin.
The break is up. The alley-oop. Toss. Oh! And here are the Bucks now. 15-point game. Oh! Whips in the reverse jam. And here is Stuckey. 13 points in the game. Stuckey inside. Here's Wallace. A follow-up push. He's talking about his turnovers, Clark. He just doesn't look confident out there for some reason.
No, he's very shaken. He's uncomfortable, and he's unsure. And we all have days like that. Even those of us that do our job pretty well, you just have to get focused and move on, try to relax, and try to get something good going for you.
Shorty gently drops it in.
No wasted opportunities for him. He's been as efficient as a heat pump.
And here is Ford. Here's Howard. Takes it up. Sinks it. They push their lead to 15.
Just like they drew it up in practice, Kevin. Sweet dish inside.
Here's Shorty. Great finish in traffic. 20 points for him.
It takes a lot of skill and agility to lay it in with the defense right on you. That's a terrific finish.
It's off his foot, and it's being called a kickball. And here is Ford. Stuckey from short range. Lays it right in.
Great assist on that basket. He's seeing the floor well, and he's making some beautiful passes.
They're down by 15. 2:20 left in the fourth. Over to you, Cheryl.
Well, I got a moment to speak with the head coach of the Pistons. He wants them to get on in transition. They haven't been getting many fast break points, and he's trying to amp them up and get them running. Kev?
Okay, thanks. Now Bynum, following the bucket by the Bucks. Here's Wilkins.
Despite his height, he's choosy with his dunks. But when he does, make way.
Down low. Here's Warwick off the pick. That's good.
Great pick there. The defender was stopped in his tracks, and it freed up the easy basket.
Bynum inside to Williams. Knocked loose. Stolen by the Bucks.
And Kev, that's only his first giveaway for the game.
Count the basket and the foul. That's on Chris Duhon. Wilcox will head to the bench. Good for the three-point play. Now Duhon, right now averaging 5 points a game. He's done a great job, Clark, of controlling the ball.
Boy, he should.
Like, what are you looking at, bro? Thomas, we was cool
Fantastic
at
pass
first
to
in the
set the
beginning.
alley-oop jam up there.
A lot of
You gotta
assists,
love
but
that.
No, Dookie.
Down low, Thomas lays it in. Sweet time to lead into the rack.
Excellent anticipation there, Kev. He placed that pass perfect.
Now Duhon. Now Bynum. Here's number 23. He's off from 3. Here's Milwaukee now, trailing by 10. Here's Warwick. 2 hands for safety. They're up by 8. 51 seconds left in the game. The Pistons changing it up. Here's Wallace. He's got 12. Dumps it off. Ford got a piece of it, but he stays with it. Here's Howard. The shot is off. And the Bucks going the other way right now.
Kevin, not much they can do right now. Time is not on their side.
To 0. Thomas to Warwick. Nails the easy jumper.
You start hitting a few of those mid-range shots, and it can open up your whole game.
Here comes T.J. Ford. The Bucks will go for the intentional foul. The Pistons win the hard-fought game as they outlast the Bucks 62-56. Shorty is the Jordan Brand player of the game and some solid numbers.
Well, Kevin, he attacked the rim with reckless abandon all game long. He was throwing down dunks left and right.
Game in a loss.
Well, that's it for us. On behalf of Clark Kellogg, Cheryl Miller, and me, Kevin Harlan, thanks for tuning in to NBA Basketball on 2K Sports.
In a nutshell, I will call your performance dominating. I'd like to start off by saying that I thought your shot selection was fantastic. As a teammate, your job is to do everything you can do to put your team in a position to win. You definitely did that on the offensive end of the court. And I almost forgot. You were all over your man. Most of the shots he took were bad looks because you were in his face. Your man had no choice but to take questionable shots all game long. Ultimately, if you can keep up that level of play, good things will happen.
Let's check out the Sprite ice-cold keys to the game. Now, Clark, as you look at the Bobcats, what do you think will be the key for them?
Well, Kev, Kurt Thomas is a guy they've got to keep under control. He's an excellent rebounder on both backboards, so you've got to get into him and deny him prime position inside.
And Clark, since we're talking about the keys, how about Milwaukee? What's the key for them?
One player who could be the X factor is Rajah Bell, so they can't let him get loose. He's been in a good groove, really flowing lately, helping his team amass this win streak. His scoring is way up. He's really flowing.
Well, it makes an intriguing matchup, thanks, Clark. And here are the Bucks now, following the Bobcats miss. Shorty, he's guarded by Diop. From close range.
Excellent anticipation there, Kev. He placed that pass perfect.
And here's Charlotte coming into this having notched a win against Cleveland in their last game.
I love what I saw from their offense. Not that their defense was bad. As a matter of fact, it was pretty good as well. But good plays, well executed, especially on offense, that was the difference.
And here is Red, following the score by Charlotte. Here's Shorty. Drains it from short range.
He came up big there against a much bigger opponent. Sweet play down low.
And Charlotte has possession. This time they met was in Charlotte.
They really didn't come out with the winning attitude. I mean, you've got to bring the eye of a tiger. And it's a bit difficult when you lose considering how weak they played. They still almost had a chance to win.
Now Bell. Against Cleveland, he was really on his game. To Jefferson. Wallace takes a three. No good. And the Bucks going the other way right now. This game coming after a loss against the Pistons.
You know, we watched what they did, or rather did not do. I mean, the flimsy Swiss cheese defense can't be expected to hold up. You got to show more moxie and resistance than that.
And the Bobcats have it, following the bucket by the Bucks. Now Bell. And here is Diop. He's guarded by Mbamute. And the basket by Diop.
Beautiful delivery with the bounce pass. He kept it away from the defense, which set up the shot perfect.
Here's Thomas. Hits. Nice pass leading into the bucket.
So far, I don't think you can ask for a better start to the game for them. 4 for 4 thus far. That was a perfect chance to finish on the break, and he let it slip away.
Jefferson off the pick. Finishes with the soft touch.
Great pick there. The defender was stopped in his track, and it freed up the easy basket.
So it's Milwaukee now. Chandler with the rebound.
Well, he was wide open for a reason. The D was just begging for him to attempt that shot.
Out of bounds. Touched last by the Bucks. Quickly, let's check out the Eastern Conference standings, the season in full bloom. Taking a look at Charlotte. They're way down there in the conference standings, looking for a lot of improvement during the second half of the season. And checking out Milwaukee, 4 games back.
Always a challenge when you're in the midst of a second game of a back-to-back, but you got to find a way to get your energy up, get your rest first, and then bring your...
Now Augustine. 9-point game was last outing. DJ Augustine left the University of Texas early, comes to the NBA. What did you think about his short-lived college career and how he's made the transition to the league?
Phenomenal as a college player. Tremendous quickness and scoring ability. And I think he's got a bright future in the NBA. It's just going to take a little time for him to establish himself as a big-time point guard. Just like they drew it up in practice, Kevin. Sweet dish inside.
Here's Augustine. Here's Chandler. Nice job to clean up the mess. And it's now all evened up at 10.
Well, that's where he's so dangerous. You let him hang around the rim area, and he'll make you pay, as we just saw.
And here is Thomas. He's got 6. Shorty in close. Chandler with the rebound.
Well, he doesn't have the softest touch. And with the D right in his face, that made all the difference.
Here's Augustine. Can't take the lead. Fouls on the shot clock. Here's Shorty. Gerald Wallace grabs the miss.
Ill-advised shot there, no question about it.
The inside look by Jennings.
That's exactly the way you practice it. Hit the open man for the great look.
1 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. To Bell. With the fadeaway. Nails the fadeaway.
Talk about a difficult shot. The defender was breathing down his neck, so he faded away and lofted it over the top. Beautifully done.
Shorty misses the buzzer beater. We've got a tie ball game on our hands.
They've been very active with their hands going for steals. They've really been disruptive on defense. If I had to point out an area for improvement, it would be on the offensive glass. They need somebody to get in there, mix it up, and come away with a few extra possessions.
We've reached the end of the first, and both teams going back and forth. It's knotted up at 12. All right, the first quarter had a lot of good action. I think we'll be in for some more here in the second. And here are the Bucks now. And here's what's coming up tomorrow afternoon. From the Pepsi Center in the Mile High City, you're watching the Denver Nuggets. They'll be playing host to the visiting Boston Celtics. Things get going at 1:30 Eastern Time.
It'll be fun to watch.
And so here is Charlotte after the miss by Milwaukee. Chandler from inside gets the lay-in. Nice bucket by the 9th-year veteran out of Dominguez High School. And here is Red. The Bobcats with the lead. Here's Augustine. Finished off the break.
Beautiful pass there to find his man streaking up court.
So it's Milwaukee now, trailing by 4. Next up for them, the Knicks, a road game in New York. That will be a getaway game for them, a 1-game road trip. Inside, here's Thomas, lays it in. Sweet time to lead him to the rack. He's got 8.
Good pick there to set up the layup. That's textbook offensive execution.
And now the first timeout called here for the Bobcats. Some of the best free throw shooters in the NBA. Let's highlight them. And you look at Bell, 4th in the league, and as consistent as they come at the free throw line.
Boy, his routine is flawless. He does the same thing every time, and the result is pretty much the same. Cash money from the stripe.
Diaw laid in softly off the glass.
Boris Diaw is kind of an undersized power forward. He gets it done at both ends. He defends well, he's a versatile ball handler and scorer, and he's also a pretty good playmaker from that position.
On defense, Charlotte, 4-point game. About 3.5 minutes left in the half. Here's Bell, claims it for 3. He has 7.
All right.
Fast break left the defense scrambling to react, and they couldn't get to him in time.
Here's Shorty. It's blocked. Good D by Chandler. And so here is Charlotte. 7-point differential. And for next Friday, be sure to tune in. It'll be Yao Ming and the Houston Rockets. They'll be hosting the San Antonio Spurs. That one's scheduled for a tip-off at 7:30 Eastern.
You can count on it that both teams want to win.
Yep. So it's Milwaukee. Diaw missing his last shot. Takes it up. Drops it in on the layup.
The defense left him just a little window to get through, and he just ducked in for the layup. Terrific job.
Now Bell. Last game, 26 points. 2:30 left in the second. On the shot clock. Stolen away by the Bucks.
The closer in you get, the more they'll reach in for the pilfer. You got to protect the rock.
It counts, and the foul. It's going to be on Rajah Bell. And the Bucks with some adjustments here. Good for the three-point play. And here is Jefferson. So here is Charlotte. Chandler backs in. Fades back. Too much mustard on that one.
Tough break there, Kev. He found an opening on the floor and got a nice clear look. Just didn't convert.
Kept alive. Bogut nails it from close range. That's 7 unanswered.
That's where you're going to get the high percentage look. Easy 2 there.
He's got to push it. Charlotte trailing. Tipped. Stolen by Bogut.
And that's his second turnover in this quarter alone.
Here is Mbamute. Can't get it to go. Now the Bobcats take it the other way. He's had a tough time of it, as you were saying.
Yeah, he really has, Kevin. I mean, he just needs to make the smart passes and keep things simple. When you're struggling, sometimes the harder you try, the worse it gets. He just has to back off of it a little bit. And he's got to make sure he's keeping the ball between himself and the defender.
So it's Milwaukee following the score by Charlotte. Mbamute backs down. To Red. To the paint. To the perimeter. Red misses.
With nobody around, he can't get it to fall. Won't see that very often, folks.
Here's Bell. Drops it in from 12 feet.
Allow him.
He's got 11.
That's exactly where the coach wants him to get his shot, Kevin. Right there from mid-range.
Shorty from short range. Lays it right in.
That's too easy. The D's got to get to him about 8 feet further out.
And the Bobcats call time here.
Piss me off, man. No.
Let's check out the leaders in field goal percentage as a team. You look at the Bucks, second in the NBA, such great shooters.
As a team, they really execute their offense. Guys know where they're going to get their shots from. And they make sure that guys shoot the shots they're most comfortable with. Ball movement, player movement, execution leads to high field goal percentage.
And here is Diaz, averaging 13 points a contest. So it's Milwaukee now. Their defense has only allowed 6 points in the second half. Shorty with the charge, and that's his first foul of the game. Let's take a look around the NBA yesterday. Hawks pick up a road win. The Suns falling short there. The Heat drop one on the road. The Grizzlies take that one. For the Pistons, a good game in Detroit as the Milwaukee Bucks lose. And back to the game we go.
He saw the defense wasn't set and caught him off guard with the quick launch.
To Elson. Here's Shorty. Tyson Chandler pulls it in.
The defense read the scouting report, and they're going to sag off of him. He's just not a threat from out there.
Got a hand on it. They get it back. And he makes the first one.
Boris Diaw spent time on the French national team, but his mom provided the DNA for his basketball skills. She's regarded as one of the best centers in French women's basketball history. He's the 2005-2006 most improved player in the NBA, a versatile performer, a stat sheet stuffer.
Al Bell after the basket by Milwaukee. They've got to push it. Got a piece of it. The steal by Peaches.
Boy, the turnovers are piling up pretty quickly here. We've seen them doing quite a bit of sloppy ball handling.
That's their third turnover in this quarter. And the Bobcats have it after the basket by Milwaukee. These turnovers can pile up, like you were saying, Clark, and when you cough up the rock, you're forfeiting possession.
Empty trips, we call them, Kevin, and that's exactly what they've been doing right now. You've got to be aware of where the defense is, and you also have to be ready to be patient and make good decisions with the basketball.
Now, Mbamute after Gerald Wallace's bucket.
This nigga didn't see me.
Mbamute to 0. Tyson Chandler pulls it in. Here's Chandler. Can't get the buzzer beater. We've reached the end of the third, and it's been an exciting game. The score, 45-41. Gerald. Augustine, averaging 14 points a game. Pulls up, high post. Augustine, no luck. The Bucks trail. The three. It's hauled in by Diaz.
Surprisingly, he hasn't really been a big part of their offense. I don't think he ever got into a rhythm.
Bell. No luck on the three-point attempt. It's a neck-and-neck game here in Milwaukee. Here's Shorty. It falls!
He's been extremely active out there, and he has the stats to prove it. Terrific hustle.
The Bobcats with the lead, running out of time.
I got him!
And here is Diaz. He's against Ward.
Kicked it to the right guy at the right time. That's a good pass.
On offense here, the Bucks trailing by 4. Poked away. The pass cut off by the Bobcats.
He lets go of another one here, Kevin. I mean, he's got to step back and slow down a bit here. I think he's rushing himself.
It's off his foot, and it's whistled a kick. Milwaukee is just getting everything they want inside.
Points in the paint have been the story so far, and I don't think it's going to change unless this team starts defending with physicality, bodying up without foul.
Now Augustine. top. Clark, as you were saying, his turnovers are starting to stack up. Lack of ball control in this second half.
And you know, Kevin, a lot of times turnovers come down to a player playing too fast, trying to do too much too quickly. And he's just got to slow down a bit, ramp it down just a notch.
Al Bell after Michael Redd scored. Diao down low. He's against Ward. Chandler is screened to Wallace. Augustine. It's good from beyond the
He
arc.
hit
These
that.
clubs have been lighting up the scoreboard all game long.
Shorty, headed by Augustine. Shoots from the post. Almost a three-point opportunity. Instead, he'll go to the line for two. It's on Tyson Chandler.
Tough interior
my
defense
God.
means not allowing easy baskets. Good foul.
Good on number 2. Al Bell. He's got 13. Here's Wallace. Augustine. Augustine, that's good. And here is Redd, averaging 18 points a game. Dumps it off.
Look at this.
The Bucks with the turnover.
A little miscommunication on that one. Both guys have to be on the same page when you're moving the ball around.
I know what I'm doing.
And here is Chandler. 8-point game. Wallace misses.
Once he gets it inside, Kevin, he's really a good finisher. That's a good effort defensively to force the miss.
Here's Shorty. Tyson Chandler pulls it in.
Well, Kev, they're making a strong statement under the boards. I mean, out-rebounding by a pretty good margin here.
It's tipped. Stolen by the Bucks. No Clark, you're right there. He's strong inside.
And it's showing up today, Kevin. I mean, really showing up. There's no doubt about it.
Al Bell, averaging 10 points per contest. To Bell.
Not the right time to throw that entry pass there, Kevin.
And here are the Bucks now. 6-point game. In the paint, here's Warwick. Shorty leads the game in assists. The Bobcats call time. They're up by 4. 1:05 left to the fourth. And here is Chandler. Right now averaging 5 points a game.
No.
Bell bricks it off the front iron.
Really not enough defensive pressure there to force that miss. He's got to be disappointed.
Less than 1 minute left. Here's Shorty. Can't get it to go. Now the Bobcats take it the other way. The Bobcats have a chance to put this one out of reach. Chandler to the wing. Here's Bell. Nails it from the wing.
Look at this
His
shit.
offense normally comes and goes, but he'll take that bucket. No time to waste. They have to sink this bucket, then foul on the inbound.
7-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Shorty gently drops it in. They close the gap to 4.
Those are the shot opportunities you want, right in the lane.
The Bucks will go for the intentional foul. They still got to foul them a second time to get into the penalty and send them to the stripe. The Bucks commit the intentional foul, and they'll try to extend the game.
That's the right move. Stop the clock and hope they make a mistake you can take advantage of.
Sinks the first one, and that puts them up by 5. Hits them both, and it's a 6-point ball game.
Clutch free throws there. He drained them all to raise the lead.
The Bucks will call a full timeout. They're losing by 6. 16 seconds left in the game. Clark, what are your thoughts?
You have to be impressed by their tenacity. Still fighting, but the odds are definitely not in their favor. They need to hit a quick shot here, preferably a 3, and then foul.
The Bucks will go for the intentional foul.
Foul them to prevent the easy basket. You'll have to earn it at the line.
It's the first that makes it a 7-point lead. 2 for 2, and it's an 8-point ballgame. Here's Warwick, and it's no good. Poor shot selection there, to say the least. Shorty is whistled for reaching in. It's his third foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the line for 2. Good on the first, and that'll give him a 9-point lead.
He didn't get them all, but I think he still put this game out of reach, Kevin.
Off on the second. The Bobcats win the hard-fought game as they outlast the Bucks 61-52. For his steady play, Raja Bell is the Jordan Brand player of the game.
Yeah, Kevin, he was really stroking it. He shot the lights out, and there was just no one out on the floor who could stop him.
Well, that's it for us. On behalf of Clark Kellogg, Cheryl Miller, and me, Kevin Harlan, thanks for tuning in to NBA Basketball on 2K Sports.
I'm not gonna lie. I was grabbing a bite to eat and I missed the start of the game. You did pretty well for what I did see, though. Of the shots you took, I would say the vast majority of them were good shots. I've always stressed the importance of good shot selection. It's nice to see that you don't give away possessions with bad shots. And now, here comes the bad news. You allowed your man to drop all those points on you. Embarrassing. If you want people to take you seriously, you can't let that happen. Ever. To sum it all up, keep doing what you're doing and work on the minor details.
Now let's take a moment for the Sprite ice-cold keys to the game. All right, so Clark, taking a look at the Bucks, what's going to be the key for them?
Well, they've got to find a way to get some points on the board, Kevin. Over the last few games, they've been in a complete funk, and their scoring is down significantly. They've got to find a way to get their offense on track if they're going to shake out of this slump.
As for New York, Clark, what about the Knicks? What will be the key for them?
How about the ferocious glass eater, David Lee? This guy gobbles up rebounds and shoots a high percentage, too. Loves that up and down pace because he's a big man that can run the floor.
Here's Hughes. Drains the first bucket of the game.
The defense was slow to set up there and as a result got burned.
And here is Red. Chandler on him. And the Knicks with the ball. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
Their pitfall, their downfall was foul trouble. That pretty much limited their options. Made the game disjointed and it put them at a major disadvantage as the game went on.
Hands it from in close.
Nice feed inside. Sets his teammate up for the easy deuce.
Here's Chandler. The shot, no good. And it's Milwaukee the other way. Defeated by the Bobcats in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
I know they were hoping for a bigger output from one player in particular. But you know, it shows you how much they rely on certain guys having big games. In some matchups, that makes all the difference.
And the basket by Harrington.
Kicked it to the right guy at the right time. That's a good pass.
And here are the Bucks now. It's a 3-point game. They beat the Knicks during their last encounter in New York.
You know, so many times it's not what your team accomplishes, but what the other guys lack. They took advantage of a poor offensive outing. That should be illegal, Kevin. Impeccable timing on that alley-oop. They hooked up perfect.
Shorty connects. Here's Hughes. He had 15 points last outing. Stolen by Shorty. It's vertical. Dumps it down with one hand.
He's getting the highlight reel play of the day. Wait a minute. Make that week. Hey, make it the year. Now that was a dunk.
And here is Harrington. We saw him with 19 points his last outing. Chandler backs in. Here's Robinson. Kept alive. Here's Hughes. Connects from 13 feet out.
Inside, outside, Kevin. I love it. He drew the D in and then kicked it out to the open man.
Jennings drops it in on the layup.
Easy look in the paint. The defense got abused there.
Here's Robinson. Knocks down the trifecta.
This is called you must extend your defense, especially on the three-point marks.
To Thomas. Open look. And Lee pulls it down.
Shocking how wide open he was. Even more shocking that he couldn't sink it.
Hughes. Harrington down low. Thomas is on it. Here's Chandler. Nails the train. 8 points for him.
And right now, Kevin, they're getting everything they want and sending a message while they're doing it.
Now, Mbamute. Harrington on him. The up and under. Scooped up. Shorty connects from in close.
Snares the offensive rebound, then sends it home.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. Quickly, let's check out the Eastern Conference standings, the season in full bloom. Taking a look at New York. Right now, they're down in the 9th spot. They haven't had the kind of success they had wanted to have at this point of the season. And, of course, the Bucks, way down below.
Well, this team has not played with a lot of confidence recently, but winning is a panacea in many ways, Kevin. It cures everything, and we'll see if they can get it going from here.
Now Robinson. His last outing, he had 18 points. Here's Bell. Finished off the break. The Knicks with the lead. And here is Chandler. Drains the open look. 10 points for him. Now Bell. 28 seconds left in the first. It's off his foot. And they're saying he kicked the ball. Now we have a moment to see the best rebounding teams in the league. Take a look at the Knicks. Team with outstanding rebounders. Number 2 in the league.
They're one of the premier rebounding teams for a reason. They prioritize it. I mean, it's a team thing with these guys. They expect anybody on the court to get a rebound. And that's what they do. They get after rebounds, and they hold each other accountable in that area of the game.
I'm back, I'm here. Back us up.
So it's Milwaukee. Here's Ward.
I tell you what, Kevin, both teams have been on a tear. This could be a very high-scoring game.
Hughes misses the buzzer beater. The Knicks with the slight lead.
Well, they've been knocking them down from long range. Still, they're not getting any points in the paint. Jump shots can be fickle. They come and go. So it's important.
All right, the first quarter had a lot of good action. I think we'll be in for some more here in the second. So it's Milwaukee now. They trail by 3. And looking forward to this Saturday, it'll be Darren Williams and the Utah Jazz. They'll be hosting the Houston Rockets. It'll be a 7 o'clock start time.
You can count on it that both teams want to win.
Yep. 6 seconds to shoot. Shorty, guarded by Blake, shoots from the post.
Looked like he had the angle. That's a bad miss that close to the goal.
Here's Hughes. Gets in close. The shot misses. And the Bucks going the other way right now. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Bogut down low. Harrington on him. Inside. Nice shot by Bogut.
Speed is only part of the equation here. He's not blinding quick, but he was determined to take that one to the rim.
Now Blake. 11 points last game. Now Mbamute. Tipped.
You have to play smart with the ball in your hand.
Here's Blake. Buries the jumper to finish the break.
That's what makes an offense flow. Good execution, smart shot.
Shorty, baseline. From close range, kept alive. Shorty still can't get it to fall.
Tough break there, Kev. He found an opening on the floor and got a nice clear look. Just didn't convert.
On the wing, it's Larry Hughes.
No defense there to bother the shot, and he still misfired. His coach does not look happy.
Hughes gets the reach-in call. That's his first foul. Around the league, here we go. A recap from yesterday. Out at the Pepsi Center, a win for the Nuggets. The Celtics were defeated. The Sacramento Kings lose on the road. Phoenix gets it done. Out at New Orleans, a win for the Hornets as the Rockets lose. And that's it for now. Here's Red. Can't tie up the score.
Kevin, he threw that thing up from another area code. He's pretty confident in his range, maybe a bit too confident.
And looking at next Wednesday, we'll see Al Jefferson and the Minnesota Timberwolves. They head to Atlanta to play the Hawks at Phillips Arena. It all gets going at 7 o'clock Eastern.
They're a lot of fun to watch right now.
Right. And here is Red, guarded by Robinson. To Warwick, working on Lee. Here's Shorty. Scooped up. Warwick, it's good. Nice offensive rebound. Nice bucket by the fifth-year veteran out of Syracuse. Chandler. Here's Hughes. Can't hit from beyond the arc.
I think he's really starting to lose confidence in his shot. Those misses are getting to him.
And here is Thomas. From inside, Harrington with the rebound. A tight game here in New York. Here's Chandler. Misses everything with the triple.
That was a judgment call. He took a quick shot there, but I thought it was a pretty good look.
Yes, and the foul. Hey, Robinson picks one up. We'll see a new set here for the Knicks. And here is Red. Now Blake, averaging 8 points a game. The three. Robinson misses.
Well, the bad shooting continues for them to start this half.
Lofts it up.
When you play together and get a feel for each other's tendencies, you start to make plays just like that.
Now Robinson. Right now averaging 21 points a game. Robinson pockets the three ball. He has 6. Milwaukee in the lead. Here's Shorty. Tries to drop it in, but it won't go.
There wasn't enough defensive pressure to affect him that close to the rim. I think he just flat out missed it.
Here's Robinson. Off from three-point land. The Bucks still holding on to a small lead.
It's anyone's game right now, partner. Every possession is critical.
The Bucks with the last touch. Let's now take a moment to view the league's leading rebounders. You look at Lee,
every time,
one of the game's best, second in the league.
He's an absolutely relentless rebounder. This guy has strength, timing, and tenacity, and he pursues every loose ball as if it's his own. That's what makes him so special in tracking down rebounds. He goes after them with vigor. Boy, I love to watch him glass eat.
And be sure to tune in next Sunday. We'll see Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers as the Denver Nuggets roll into town. Things get going at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
You know they're going to be extra hyped up for this one. Tough break there, Kev. He found an opening on the floor and got a nice clear look. Just didn't convert.
It's off his leg. And the ref's whistling a kick ball. Here's what the schedule says for the New York Knicks and what it looks like. They'll be off to Boston for a meeting with the Celtics after this one. That'll be the first half of a 2-game trip. New York on D. Shorty from short range. It counts, and the foul. Lee Robinson picks one up. No good, and they don't get the three-point play.
And after that first miss, they're 3 of 4. They're trying to run him out of the building right now.
Here's Douglas. Nails it from the wing. They cut it to 1.
He detected the early opening there and took advantage. That's a smart decision.
Here's Bell. Shorty leads the game in assists.
Great assist on that basket. He's seeing the floor well, and he's making some beautiful passes.
Into Harrington. Milicic laid in softly off the glass.
That's exactly the way you practice it. Hit the open man for the great look.
To Alexander. Knocks it loose. Stolen away by Robinson.
They certainly haven't been very good here in the quarter in regards to protecting the ball.
And here are the Bucks now. 1:59 left in the third quarter. Inside, here's Elson. Lays it in. Sweet time to lead into the rack. And yeah, for turnovers, they have 3 already this quarter.
And that's a lot of missed chances, partner. And it's the same thing. Those 3 opportunities can mean a 10, 12-point swing in score differential. Each basket they make after you hand it over, it's also a chance you didn't have to score yourself.
Now Robinson. 6 points for him. To the wing. Here's Chandler. Shot is off. And it's Milwaukee the other way.
One of the ways where they've shown a definite edge, Kevin, has come on the glass today.
It's called for the travel, and they'll turn it over. Shorty having a dominant impact in this game.
He's really doing a great job of finding the open man, and he has his team working in harmony because of it. It's like he has a second set of eyes.
He is doing such a great job of distributing, Clark. How do you counteract that?
They need to put more pressure on the ball and to try to force him to give it up before he gets comfortable.
New York trailing. Talk about that rebounding edge, Clark. That's definitely had an impact for them in this game.
Well, I think you open up your opportunities, Kevin, when you can stay strong in the paint area and control the boards. I mean, that's a critical element in winning basketball games, rebounding the ball.
Petrus with it, following Nate Robinson's three-point attempt. Shorty. And misses. What was that all about? And here we go with Nate Robinson. Here's Chandler. Trains it for 3. 13 points in the game.
They haven't been as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. They're playing smart with the lead. I like that. Being very selective and deliberate in their offense. And that's a good strategy when you're on top.
The Knicks with the lead. To Blake. Chandler. Drains it from short range.
He's not normally a prolific scorer, but he's giving them a big lift in this one. If they want to go 2 for 1, they'll have to speed it up.
Here's Shorty on the paint. Finishes with the soft touch. He's got 10.
That's too easy. The D's got to get to him about 8 feet further out.
1 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Lee gets the bucket.
Great vision on display there. The pass led him perfectly to the basket. That's how you do it. Here, they'll want to hold for 1 shot.
Shorty. Chandler with the rebound. And here we go with Nate Robinson. Let's go with a 3. Can't get the buzzer beater. Both teams continue to fill it up as we conclude the third. The score, 45-41. Three quarters have been played, but the outcome remains undecided. Welcome everyone to the start of the fourth quarter. Now Robinson. He has 6. From about 19 feet. That's good.
Explosive offense. These two teams have been going at each other this entire game.
Dumps it off. Here's Thomas. Lays it right in. Nice shot by the 15th-year veteran out of TCU. Harrington the screen. Over Thomas. Kept alive. Here's Hughes. He's off from 3.
You can't fault that shot since he was wide open, but he may have rushed it just a little bit.
Now Mbamute. To the right corner. Shorty. And the rebound goes to David Lee.
Well, he was wide open for a reason. The D was just begging for him to attempt that shot.
Here's Hughes. It's good from beyond the arc.
There's no answer for the three-point shot this half. They've dominated from behind the arc.
Here's Shorty. Rips it down with one hand.
Too easy. Far too easy.
And so here is New York, leading by 5. Lee on the elbow. Robinson. It's money from deep.
Right now, the defense needs to do a better job of closing out on this guy. He's heating up from outside.
Now, Mbamute. Here's Red. Nails it from close range.
No one really contested him at the basket that time, Kevin. He's just too good in there to leave the door open for.
Now Robinson. 11 points in the game. Harrington the screen. Here's Chandler. Puts it in off the sweep hit. He's shooting 60% from downtown. Shorty in close. Puts it in for 2.
The defense left him just a little window to get through, and he just ducked in for the layup. Terrific job.
And here is Harrington. He's guarded by Mbamute. Thomas got caught sagging into the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. Now Robinson. Here's Chandler. Can't extend the lead to double digits. The Bucks trail. To Mbamute. Jennings. Can't knock in the 3.
Tough break there, Kev. He found an opening on the floor and got a nice clear look. Just didn't convert.
Hughes had his pass go out of bounds, and they'll give up the ball. The Bucks still have time here.
That's right, but they've got to keep their composure. Got to play with force. Stay cool and keep chipping away at it.
And here is Red. 6 points for him.
That was a judgment call. He took a quick shot there, but I thought it was a pretty good look.
And here are the Knicks. 7-point differential. Deflects the pass. The steal by Shorty.
Kevin, he's having some problem holding on to the orange right now. I mean, during the first half, he had just one miscue.
Now Robinson. He's got 11. Harrington. Thomas is there. Can't get it to go. And it's Milwaukee the other way. He was looking great earlier on. Doesn't seem to be as locked in here in the second half.
You know, sometimes that halftime break can cause a player to lose his focus and he can go a little brain neutral on you, but hopefully he can regroup and get it back.
Shift gears.
Yeah, hopefully.
Now Robinson. Here's Hughes. Fires from 14. That's good.
Sometimes folks forget about his decent mid-range jumper. He can knock those down all game given a chance.
So it's Milwaukee. They trail by 7. Here's Shorty.
A little too much body contact there. You have to stay in front of the ball handler by moving your feet, or you'll get tagged with that call every time.
Good for the three-point play. Here's Hughes. He's got 9. They're running out of time. The pass cut off by Thomas.
He tried to air it out. Bad pass there.
Shorty to the inside. Stolen by the Knicks. The Bucks will go for the intentional foul.
Man, that's not what I tried to do.
The Knicks with an excellent chance to put the nail in the coffin.
Fouled him to prevent the easy basket. You'll have to earn it at the line.
Sinks the first one, and that puts them up by 5. Off on the second. So it's Milwaukee now.
No time to waste. They have to sink this bucket, then foul on the inbound.
And that one's good. 21 points in the game. Now Robinson. He's got 12. The Bucks commit the intentional foul, and they'll try to extend the game.
That's the right move. Stop the clock and hope they make a mistake you can take advantage of.
Good on the first, and that gives him a 4-point cushion. Perfect from the line, and it's a 5-point ball game.
And that'll do it, Kevin. Those last free throws were the icing on the cake.
The Bucks will call a full timeout. They're losing by 5. 9 seconds left to the fourth. Clark, what are your thoughts?
There's not much time left here. They need to score quickly and then intentionally foul to send the other team to the foul line.
Here's Shorty. Knocks down the 3.
He's a streaky shooter, but when he gets it going, he can put points on the board in a real hurry.
Coach D'Antoni signals for a timeout. They're winning by 2. 5 seconds left in the game. Knocked loose. It's stolen by the Bucks.
Oh my, what quick hands. Terrific steal. Kevin, that's what you expect from him. When the pressure's at its highest, the game on the line, that's when he's at his best.
Time expires, and we're going to overtime.
What I know. Hey, what I
Harrington the screen. Over Mbamamuta. And the basket good.
He's been extremely active out there. He has the stats to prove it. Terrific hustle.
New York on D. The lead is 2. Thomas gets it to go.
Yeah, both teams have ramped it up here in the second half.
Here's Chandler, sinks it.
That's a good example of excellent communication. The nice lead pass led his teammate right to the rim for the basket.
So it's Milwaukee. 2-point game. Jennings. Chandler with the rebound.
Tough break there, Kev. He found an opening on the floor and got a nice clear look. Just didn't convert.
Here's Hughes. Shot's good. And here are the Bucks now, trailing by 4. To 0. Leads him with the pass. Red. Good.
Oh, what a great look to get it inside. That's the way to find him when he's ready to score.
Now Robinson. 14 points for him. And here is Harrington. He's guarded by Mbamute.
Great defense there. Challenged the path of the shooter, which caused the miss.
Here's Red. Gets the go-ahead bucket.
So far, nothing the D's thrown at him has been effective. It's been a volcanic eruption.
Chandler on the paint. Flies in for the layup.
Way to distribute the basketball.
The Bucks trail. To the right corner. To Red. Hughes covering. From the wing. Kept alive. Here's Jennings. And it's off. Questionable decision-making there. Less than 1 minute left. Hughes.
What is
the bucket was set up as it is by Robinson.
Brandon
He's
getting
got
out
a double double. This is a crucial possession for him. A lot at stake here. Here's Shorty. Off target from downtown.
They need to make the most of every possession. And desperation threes like that simply won't get it done. Beautiful delivery with the bounce pass. He kept it away from the defense, which set up the shot perfect.
Shorty gets the bucket.
Sometimes you're good, sometimes you're lucky. They got lucky there.
The Bucks will go for the intentional foul. They still got to foul them a second time to get into the penalty and send them to the strike.
That's exactly what they need to do to stretch out this game. Smart foul there.
Here comes Nate Robinson. 14 points for him. Shorty is tagged with the reach. That's his first foul of the game. In the bonus, they'll go to the line.
Shorty.
Gets the first. That gives him a 4-point cushion. Gets them both, and it's a 5-point ball game.
Didn't hit them all, but didn't need to. That should seal this one up.
They're down by 5. 14 seconds left in overtime. Clark, what's your take?
Well, the options are reduced to one right here. Quick shot, intentional foul, and hope for missed free throws at the other end.
Here's Shorty. It's good! Here's Hughes. 13 points in the game. The Bucks will foul to stop the clock. Sinks the first one, and that gives him a 4-point cushion. Two for two, and it's a 5-point ball game.
Talk about a clutch free throw, Kev. That one just might have sealed the game.
And here is Red. Jennings. It's off. The Knicks win the hard-fought game as they outlast the Bucks 77-72.
Yeah,
For his steady play, Nate Robinson is the Georgia. Well, that's it for us. On behalf of Clark Kellogg, Cheryl Miller, and me, Kevin Harlan, thanks for tuning in to NBA Basketball on 2K Sports.
That was a serious game of hoop you just played.